Do we know what we're doing? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Yes. This is First Time Energy. Welcome back to First Time Energy, the podcast where we talk about doing new things, surviving uncomfortable situations, and realizing there's an extremely thin line between following a dream and creating additional emotional problems for yourself on purpose. Because today's episode is about podcasting. Podcasting is kind of a strange thing to explain to people. You've basically decided, yeah, I do think that my thoughts permanently live in the internet, which feels bold, delusional, and I think maybe a little bit brave. But today I am joined by a very good, dear friend of mine. I am so excited to have her. I'm joined by Ann Roushar, fellow realtor and host of Not Your Average Neighbor. And we're talking about what happens before, during, and after podcasts. The concept of you decide you want to do one, we're doing one, and then what next? Launch day energy can be a little bit different for everyone. And the harder part is the continuing. Creating content continuously, fighting perfectionism, hearing yourself speak for hours while you're editing, and then trying not to spiral every time you post something publicly. And with that, let's get into it. Anne, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. I feel very honored to be a part of your first few seasons or episodes of your new podcast. It's very exciting for you. And yeah, let's just talk all
I
about this process.
I owe everything to you.
Oh,
So,
okay. I'm just
you
kidding.
stop it some more.
Stop. Come on. Stop.
Does it feel a little bit weird to be on someone else's podcast now that you host your own?
No, I kind of like it. It's different, yes,
Yeah.
but it's not better or worse. It's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
like it's fun because I don't have to be the captain of the ship, right?
That's fair.
Yeah, so that is fun. But yeah, I just like to talk about my podcast. So anytime I get the opportunity to talk about it, I will take
Let's
it.
do it. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Okay, well, I'm gonna captain my way over. I'm gonna steer us into first time check, which you've already kind of answered that question of have you ever been on a podcast before? But
Mhm.
how many podcasts have you been a part of?
Okay, so Nicole Stute, who has the Middle Age Menopause podcast, which, you
I
know, uh,
I wish I didn't need to listen to that, but sounds like I'll be
yes.
tuning in.
So she is she has a beautiful voice, by the way, and is beautiful. But she has been doing a podcast for quite some time. Let me back up. Tara Allen, who was just a guest on my podcast
Mm-hmm.
like last week,
Yep.
she asked me first, and her podcast is called My Story, My Reality. So I was a guest on her podcast, and that was right before mine launched. She does hers out at a studio in Marion in the West End, like little shop. It's
Oh,
called
yeah, yeah.
Zine.
Yeah.
Beautiful setup.
Wait,
I wish
didn't
I
they
was
have
that cool.
John Stamos in one of their, like, commercials?
Yes, 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 they
Yes.
did. He was coming through, and he's a beach boy, if you didn't know.
Yes. Yes, I did. I watched Full House growing up. That's my yeah. I
Yeah. And I was a little bit older, so I didn't watch it a ton, but Uncle Jeffy, come on, he's
yeah, how could you not
fire.
be into Uncle Jesse?
So I was on Tara's podcast. Then I started my own, and then Nicole asked me to be on hers, and then I was just on an episode with a gal that I met on TikTok because that's where I live. Uh, I don't talk about my podcast enough on TikTok, which is something that we need to talk about. But her name is Maureen, and she has her handle on TikTok is Pass Me the Mic. And we kind of, through discovering each other, I was asked to be a guest on her episode as well. I'm not sure what Pass Me the Mic is the name of her handle, but I'm not sure that's the name of her podcast because
Show.
she has a couple.
Yeah. I
Excuse
feel like
me.
when you have other people from the podcasting world, and I can say that now because I am in that world, it's like cross pollinating. So, like, you get to share a little bit of what you do, I get to share a little bit of I do, and then hopefully you see listeners gravitate from one to the next to the next to the next. And then now they have this like beautiful garden of different things to
Right.
listen to. So,
Absolutely.
well, I am so grateful to you because I was fortunate enough to be a guest on your podcast and talk about my wig journey. And then that led me to this. Let's dive in just a little bit to the before for both of us. For me, I had thought about this maybe about 18 months or so, and I had just asked my husband, "Do you think I could host a podcast?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, why not?" But I had my own internal fears that were really preventing me. It's perfectionism is ultimately what it was. And then fast forward to God, let me 3 weeks ago, um, when I got to be a guest on your podcast and we got done, and if it wasn't, what, like 24 hours, and I was like, "So, Anne, I'm
Yeah.
starting a podcast." You're like, "I knew
Well,
it. I knew this was coming."
we had such a good time. I totally feel like this is a perfect fit for you. I believe that you have a lot of experience and stories to share that might as well throw your hat in the ring. I mean, there's
Yeah,
so much bad news out there. We've got to create a nice, light, happy space or talk about things that we may hold us back and like doing them
yeah,
anyway. Like that's the
yep,
kind of energy we need. We need to be brave for sure.
yes.
And are any of my podcasts eloquent? Hell to the no. But that's why people like me. So you either love it or you hate it. And you have a right to either choice.
I think that's funny that you say that because when I was trying to determine what my podcast cover was gonna look like, I had ChatGPT draw something up. I fell into that like caricature trend that was going around, and I was like, just draw something up that would make like portray me as a podcast host. And she's holding a coffee cup, and I say she like it's not me, but she's holding a coffee cup and it says caffeine, chaos, and confidence or something. And I was like, there's no fucking confidence here. Not I was like, "There's cursing." I just cursed. I was like, "Oh." So I had it change it to cursing, and I
Yeah.
showed both images to my neighbors and said, "What are your guys' thoughts?" And then they got to play like a spot the difference game. And one person picked it out and was like, "Oh, cursing." And I was like, "So which one do I put?" Because I want to make sure that if people are listening, they understand what they're getting when they click
Right.
it. But
Hmm.
then also, it does that turn people away? I don't know, and I'm
Well,
not,
it
like
could, but guess what? Your audience is, you are not for everyone. And I know that
True.
that sucks, but we are not for everyone. And maybe they're just not your target audience, and
That's
that is
fair.
okay.
That's fair.
And I love a good curse word. So, yeah.
Tell me how you landed on your topic. So your
Yeah.
podcast is called Not Your Average Neighbor, and
Right.
you highlight amazing people in our own neighborhood, across the country, people doing beautiful things, bringing brightness to the world. But how did you settle on that? And then also, how did you decide, "I think I'm gonna host a podcast?"
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start with that question first.
Okay.
I My podcast experience goes back to the early 2000s actually. I Back in the 19hundreds, I used to
And the
sit at my
night
desk.
the my daughter calls those the night teens.
Oh, the 19s.
I'm
Back in the
so glad I wasn't
19s,
alive in the nineteens. God.
I used to listen. I've always been drawn to talk radio, whether it's people that are saying things I believe in or things that just make me laugh. I've always just been drawn to talk radio. And so I used to sit at my desk. I was the inside salesperson for this woman, Mary Trumbo, shout out Mary, who traveled a lot. So I needed noise. So I would listen to the AM station. It's 1630 KCJJ. It's out of Cedar or Iowa City, and the it wouldn't go come in quite clearly, especially like on a cloudy day. But they had the show. They had this show called Don and Mike Show, and these guys were based out of Washington D.C. And I'll try to make this a little bit quicker, but they had
You're
the
fine.
show out in
I've got
DC.
all the time in the world to talk to you, Anne.
Okay, great. And I just loved it. They were kind of like shock jocks or whatever. And time passes, they kind of break up. Mike O'Mara does the show without Don on the show anymore. And then Mike O'Mara gets let go from the radio station that they were at. So then they discovered podcasting.
Okay.
And as soon as I could find out where to find them, I started listening. And like I was in the group. Like they started a Facebook group. I actually won my son and I got to go to a he was Mike is a huge Boston Red Sox fan. We got to go to a pregame in Fort Myers, Florida with him because I
Okay.
wrote this like awesome letter. Like they've come to Iowa City before. I met them there. Like I was in it. And at that time, I'm like, but my confidence, that was my late 30s, early 40s. I was just starting to think about maybe I could do this, maybe I could do this. My confidence wasn't there. But again, as
Your
I've
groupie
said,
confidence sounds real strong, though. You were a legit groupie.
oh, for sure. For sure. And I just told you, I just spent 51 minutes trying to talk to Jeff Lewis on Sirius XM radio. And I don't care if you think it's a waste of time. I cleaned while I was doing it. I wrote down my notes so I was clear on what I was to say because I was like, I'm going to talk to Jeff Lewis. No, I'm totally a groupie, but also like not psycho, just like love what you do. And I think I'm kind of funny sometimes too.
You
So
are
it would have been
100%.
great.
I have
And
so
they
many
missed
laughs with
out,
you.
but maybe I'll call them back again someday. So anyway, but I digress. I did not really come up with my podcast journey until I was at a leadership training in December of 2024 with the Iowa Realtors. And there was a guy there that was just asking us, what's one thing you want to share that you're going to do in the next year? And I was like, you know what? If I don't say it right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it.
Have to say it out loud.
So I said, I'm going to start a podcast. And Raymond was like, what the hell? Because I don't, Raymond is my partner in real estate. And he was like, okay. So everyone in that room was kind of like, I can't wait to hear. And so I had to do it. Well, then my father passed away in January when I was going to start it. So I had to move it back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's how my truncated podcast journey started because I do think that now more than ever, we need to shine the light on good people doing good things and
Mm-hmm.
good news and all of the cool things people are doing in our communities because there's just not enough of it. I want to make good news go viral. So that's my goal. I have been very this is season 3. I'm almost wrapping up with has been pretty local centric to my as far as my guests go, but I do have a bestie that lives in Delaware. His name is Kyle. He's on TikTok. He's a real estate coach, and I love him so much. We should be besties in real life, but
You probably would be
you
if you
know,
were closer.
I know. So yeah, that is who and what I am. My jam is
Where,
to make people smile and forget about terribleness, at least for a little bit.
when you were like, okay, here's what I'm doing, where did you go? What did you do
Mhm.
to get started?
Yeah.
I know what I
So
did to get started, and you didn't tell me it was so hard.
well, if it was easy, everyone would do it, right, Alex? So I my first my first running title was Tell Me Something Good.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted it to be. I was hearing the song in my head, Tell me
Yeah. Mhm,
something
mhm,
good.
mhm.
Like I just wanna let's hear some good fucking news. So but alas, that was not going to be feasible because of other people doing things
Yeah.
in that same aspect. And I also, being a part of a realist or being a realtor, being a part of that is that you are marketing yourself
Uh-huh.
as an agent to know, like, and trust. So I was trying to make it real estate related without
Uh-huh.
boring people to tears with all real estate stuff, but
Every time
also
someone
remind
asks
people
me
I'm a realtor.
every time someone asks me, "Is your podcast about real estate?" My response has become, "Contrary to popular belief, I do not wanna live, eat, breathe, and shit real estate. I love what I
Amen.
do. I
Right.
absolutely love what I do. However, I can't for my own soul, that cannot just be who I
Yeah.
am." So,
And how many,
here we are.
I mean, to be honest, how many real estate podcasts do you listen to? I don't listen to any
I don't
because
listen to
they're not entertaining. Like,
No.
sorry.
No.
So I chat GPT'd. My buddy chat was like, "Oh my God, this is a great idea. I love it so much." And
Chat
then gave
hypes you
me
up.
totally,
I could do
did not,
anything with chat's help. Should I
oh
get a
my
red
gosh.
water bottle or a black water bottle? That's a great choice. The red one.
I, and my son will immediately like, his head will explode anytime I say that I use chat, but also everyone is using it. If you're not using it,
Right.
I don't know what we're going to do, but what I need is quick fixes, quick information. And sometimes, I mean, Google has been Chat GPT far before
Correct.
Chat GPT. So,
100%.
like, I used to just Google shit. Now,
Yep.
it's more into my personality. So, Chat gave me like 10 different names and I chatted about it with Raymond. I'm like, what do you think? Or did he run it through chat? He might have ran it through his chat because I wasn't even talking about chat much then.
That's
Anyway,
almost better because that's someone who knows you from the outside without any preconceived notions or like
right,
that's wrong, not preconceived notions, but they don't have the same viewpoint and opinion of you as you have of yourself. And
right.
so it removes that barrier of question. Would this be a good title? Should I do this? Because I would start to overthink that.
Oh, yeah. And maybe not your average neighbor is not a great title, but I thought it was.
I
And
think it's great.
I I also am passionate about seeing people. I want to make sure that they're seen, whether it's with just my little neighborhood of listeners, or if we can expand that and make their passions, out
Yeah.
into the universe even more. But I'm like, that works for me. I loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up, so I'm always like,
That
"Hi,
those puppets are
neighbor."
creepy.
What?
The puppets are
Yeah,
creepy.
no, the puppets were terrible, but just, when he would change into his
Yes.
cardigan and put on his
Yeah.
tennis
He
shoes,
was so calm.
he
Yeah. Yeah. I do yeah, I didn't watch that a ton, but I absolutely know, like, changing his they were Converse, right? Are they
Yes, I
Converse?
believe
Yeah.
so, or maybe Keds, I'm not sure, but I just know that he always wanted to make sure people felt safe and loved and
Yes.
happy in his space, and that is the vibe.
I
I
think that
mean,
that's go ahead.
and by the way, nobody's perfect. I am not trying to say I am. I
Right.
just like to find people who are doing cool things and
I
celebrate
think
them,
the
so
feeling safe part is, a perfect segue into, like, my thought process of how I came up with my concept because, like, as you know, I very passionate about making sure people don't feel left behind or left
mhm,
out. And if I've done something once, maybe I have some useful information that could help someone have a less awkward experience the next time. So I think that it's interesting that like you voiced this concept or that you wanted to do this podcast at something Iowa Realtors related. And
mhm,
I used an Iowa Realtors experience that I had to build this concept, which was
yep,
how stressed I felt going to a conference. And I mean, I called you and was like, "Where the hell do I park?" And you're like, "Valet." Well, what you didn't know is that I don't know how to valet. I've never used it before. So I'm like, "That was no good. I don't know what I'm doing." And then I drove through the valet loop twice actually because I was so stressed about it. I was like,
yeah. No,
and
listen, I think that was the first time I ever valeted when I went in 2019 to the Iowa Realtors Conference. So, yeah,
I
it's
had
not
no
really
idea.
explained
No?
to new people. So I love that you are taking this on as kind of your,
Yeah.
you're being vigilant about making sure people feel comfortable
Yeah. I mean, and it can
with
be
their
something
experience.
so small. I just actually did an interview with someone who has a car detailing business, and it was just talking about, do I have to pre-clean my car before I drop it off? Because those are things that stick in my mind. So if I can help someone move through that, then that's great. Okay. So we both came up with our concepts. And then I did go to Google. I was like, how do I start a podcast? And it said, you have to find a website to host, which I've learned so much. I don't even know where to start with the amount of things I have learned. You have to find a host website. You have to make sure no one else has your title. Like,
Right.
there's all these things you have to do, claim it. And that brought me a lot of stress and anxiety. And I hope to never have to go through that process again,
I
honestly.
took a different route, okay?
So, what was
Because
your
I
route?
am ADD and researching is not my vibe. I had actually been introduced to this sweet young man. His name is Jace. Shout out to Jace. He was helping me with some of my real estate related, like my database and stuff.
Hmm.
And he had actually worked on a podcast with with another group. And I was like, great. If I come up with one, will you just help me? So I do have a little bit of help. I mean, actually, a lot of help because he has to sometimes he has to take out a lot because I'm like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," my tongue gets tied and I'm like, Jace, can you take that out? But so yeah, I don't know if anyone else has that name. I don't believe they do, but if they
Well,
do,
if your title had already been taken, he would have told you because
yeah.
you have to go into each hosting site really. So I
Oh,
didn't say hosting
okay.
site, but you have to go into each platform and verify. You have to claim your show. So you
Mhm.
create it. And the first roadblock I ran into, I was like, cool, I've got my artwork, I've got my show concept, I've got my bio written. I'm gonna go claim my show now.
Mhm.
And I went in to go do it, and in order to claim your show, you have to publish an episode. And
Oh,
I was like, "What? I
yeah.
what?" I'm literally learning as I go, step by step by step. How am I supposed to
Yeah.
publish anything? So
Yeah.
I realized at that point I needed to make a trailer so that I could publish just the
Right.
trailer and
Right.
claim my show.
So it's a good idea, to do that to get
Oh,
people hype it up and all of that. Yeah.
100%. And on top of all of this, my husband is the budget manager for our household, which is great. Every once in a while, I get the like, tighten it up. And that recently happened after we returned from a vacation. And so, of course, I took on the challenge of girl mathing my way to all of the equipment that you might need. So, headphones, a microphone, things like that. Not that you can't use your computer or,
Mhm.
AirPods or whatever the case is, but I was like, all right, cool. So I actually sat through a homes.com presentation they'd been calling me for a couple of weeks. And there was a voicemail that was like, if you sit through this presentation, you get $100 gift card. And I was like, girl math, that's money I don't have right now. And
Right.
technically, I could use that and we're good. So I sat
Mhm.
through a
Oh my
presentation,
gosh, I
got my
love that so much.
$100.
You told me that you sat through the presentation. I didn't know this is what you used it for.
Yes. So now I have my podcast mic, my headphones, and a laptop stand to boost this up.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's how I girl math my way to that.
That's the thing. The biggest thing is that you're going to do trial and error
Mhm.
several times. You're not going to get it perfect the first time. Do not let that be a roadblock for you
Right.
because my lighting in some of mine is crazy. My internet hasn't been great sometimes. Sometimes I'm like frozen. Like
I've
there
got
are
audio in
things.
weird places
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all
Like
kinds of stuff. So
it's
what
not
kind
going
of
to be perfect,
anxiety
but
did you have stress or anxiety leading up to
oh my
did
God,
you or
yeah.
did
Well,
Jace push the button to start it?
no, I think I did it. I don't think Jace was on at first. Well, maybe he was. I just did it on Zoom because
Mhm.
that's what I knew and that's
Mhm.
what I paid for. So, but It was anxiety because Raymond was my first guest. Raymond Seidel is, like I said, partner in crime and real estate. And I was nervous because he was nervous, I think.
Why was he nervous?
Oh my God, he doesn't do videos. He doesn't do
Oh,
anything that will make him potentially look goofy. And
okay,
I'm
that's fair.
like, no,
That's fair.
stop. No. But also he's so smart. He shouldn't let that freak. You're going to look goofy
He's
sometimes.
so
Guess
smart.
what?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares?
I had a ton of anxiety. The what caught me off guard was that I told my husband this is a creative outlet. And what caught me off guard was I also have ADHD and my brain is in 100 places. So I had to like set a hard date. If I didn't, I wasn't going to make progress
Right.
towards it. So May 1st, I was like, May 1st is the day I'm going to launch my first episode. Well, if I work backwards, kind of like we do with real estate contracts, if I work backwards from that date, what do I need to accomplish between now and then? And so I am like, all right, on Monday of that week, I'm going to announce to the world that I'm starting a podcast because I obviously want people to listen to it. And I had so much anxiety posting that post, I'm starting a podcast, because that made it real.
Mhm.
I was telling everyone I'm doing this. And then that immediately creates expectations. Whether or not they choose to listen to it, they have an expectation that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
And if I don't click this button, no one knows. Unless I've told them, I can erase everything I've done up to this point and no one knows. I almost threw up
Mhm.
the 5 minutes before pushing that button. I was riddled with anxiety. I don't know if that's just me and how my mind works, but did you feel stressed like that?
I felt nervous, anxiety, like anxious, like excitement. You
Oh.
know, it was more exciting than anything. And my first episode is probably my most boring because Raymond was so stiff. I'm like, I wanted to stop being professional. Like, but he was my guinea pig. And from there, and all guests don't hit the mark either,
Nope.
like I've had some that I'm like, oh God, is this going to come off as
Mm,
interesting to anyone besides
right.
me? Right.
Right,
I
right.
guess.
But like you said earlier, like you're not necessarily made for everyone. And if they don't find it interesting, they're not your target audience anyway.
Right, 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 right. Plus, I do mine a bit selfishly because I feel my bucket gets filled every time I talk to one of my guests and learn something new, put a smile on my face. So if I'm my only audience member, that would kind of suck because another thing you have to get used to is listening to your freaking voice, which
It's so weird.
is not a comfortable feeling. But
I
again,
have I have started playing the podcast episodes that I have released in the car when my husband's in the car because I don't know that I trust him to listen to them at the house. And like at some point I'm hoping that the expectation goes away, right? Like he's
right. But
supporting me and that should be enough. But also I'm like, so did you listen to the episode? And he's
no,
like, no,
I
I
know.
haven't.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
no, that happened.
so I
But
started playing this in the car the other day and he's, like, laughing, and our 12-year-old called shotgun, so he's sitting in the back seat, and he's kinda, chuckling or whatever, and he gets out of the car, and I looked at our daughter, and I said, "So, is that what I sound like when I talk to you?" And she
yeah,
goes, "No, that's your, like, customer service voice." And I was like, "What? No way!" So, I don't know, that's a whole
yeah,
thing.
no, Jeff, as much my husband Jeff, as much as I would like to say that he is my biggest fan in all the ways, he's not a talk show person, like a talk radio person. So he was catching up on a couple of them while we went down to Florida. And yeah, just hearing him chuckle, I'm like, what was funny? What did I
I
say that made you laugh?
Yeah, I agree. I thought my husband would listen more too just because thus far, Um, and this is amazing, I think. I'm realizing I know so many really cool people.
Hmm.
As I'm trying to come up with who am I gonna have and what am I gonna talk about, the people that I'm pulling out of what feels like the woodworks are everybody I know is impressive. I
Mhm.
don't know what that says about the friends I hang out with, but
I mean, you
everybody's
are the
impressive.
people that you keep company with, right? Right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you have anything that you I guess there's a couple different ways we can look at this. Is there something that is easier than you expected it to be about podcasting?
Easier? No. I had 0
No,
expectations coming in though. Like I just was I can tell you the hardest thing is coming up with sounding, like I have verbal skills because sometimes I'm like, you know, but so that's the hardest
that's
thing.
just
I
my
like had a list
perimenopause.
of yeah, I had a list of like other words besides great and nice because that's all that was coming into my brain.
Mhm.
So, but easy. I feel like I've been making fun of myself for many years because I've been
Self
doing videos
self-deprecating.
since yeah, since I started real estate in 2017, I've been doing videos. So like it wasn't as cringe for me because
Yeah.
it's almost been 10 years. So
I just met with someone last week and I'd never met them before. They just started listening. They were actually listening to your podcast, heard me on an episode, and you told them I was starting a podcast. And they politely went and immediately started looking for the podcast that didn't exist at the time and found it. And we had coffee last week. And I have a hard time accepting compliments as it is. They just make me feel weird and I don't. It is what it is.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
just politely thank you and I move on. But
yeah.
she threw me off guard when she said, "You have such a relaxing voice to listen to." And I was like,
Hmm.
"What the does that mean?"
No, I
Like,
told you that
what?
your episode
It's
with your wigs. I was like, is she reading an audio story? Like it was so lovely.
by like listening to myself talk 100 times. I mean, if a
Right,
podcast episode is 40 something minutes and I'm editing it, I'm listening to myself over and over and over and over again. And I just, the concept that someone else thinks that my voice is relaxing, my kids aren't going to tell you that. There's
right,
no way. My husband's
right.
not gonna tell you that. He's gonna say, "Shut up. I can't believe you have a microphone now." Like, what? And then on top of that, now I'm playing my own voice back in the car.
Yeah, and you all must listen.
Um, I think the part that I have been the most challenged by is the editing aspect.
Yeah.
I was dabbled just briefly in basic editing when COVID started because we weren't able to do open houses the same way. And so we were recording a lot more videos, posting
Um,
them of home tours. And Sean would go around with me and would take a video of me and I would like Vanna White around the
yeah,
house. And
yeah,
then we would do blooper reels and things like that. But that was my
right,
only real experience with video editing. And I do have to say that AI has helped quite a bit. I mean, like the platform I use has some built in AI, takes out things like filler words. I wish I
right.
could type in my personal filler word, which I have
Yeah.
discovered is so. I'm trying. I'm aware. Not sure that that's going to change, but it
Well,
takes
so
out
you are.
ums and
Right.
ahs and
Yeah.
ands. Anywho,
Yeah.
it
And
is
then it kinda
interesting to watch
that's
that.
what I don't love about the AI editing, and Jace does that a lot because he has other people that he's working for as well, but so it'll chop it up and
Mhm.
it just doesn't sound smooth
Yeah.
sometimes. But listen, having it be posted regularly you know, as scheduled, I'm not gonna bitch about it.
How did you determine you wanted to do a weekly podcast? I committed to biweekly so that I didn't overcommit myself. But now
Yeah,
I'm finding, even just in a few short weeks, that people are asking when the next one's coming. And
right,
I'm excited to post more, but I also don't want to overcommit myself
right, right.
because it is a
Well,
creative outlet.
Jace said advised that having seasons is, I guess, the way that he would envision this. And so you have to do, and you do have to keep, if you're not talking
Mhm.
about yourself,
Mhm.
which is not easy. That
It's
is
not.
not easy. Like
No.
promoting on social media is not easy. Hence why I don't talk about it on TikTok, which by the way, TikTok is where my people live. Like I'm up to over 700,000 views on my sunscreen video
Sunscreen
now.
video.
And Neutrogena just reached out. So shout out. I might be getting a free swag bag of Neutrogena,
Woo!
but why don't I take that and like run with it and like make more videos? Because people are seeing me. That's why. I just want to be like
Do
big
it.
and have people see me, but then like don't look at me, look at me. Don't look at me, look at me. It's weird. Inside this brain is weird.
To some
So,
degree, we have we like the attention. I mean,
of course.
psychologically, we started
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah.
We have because we could have just both done audio only podcasts,
Uh-huh.
but we didn't. We do have a film aspect, video
Uh-huh.
aspect to it. So I think you should lean into the look at me.
Look at me. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
look at me. And again, you can just scroll right past. You know?
that's fair. Maybe your new tagline is just look at me. Based off the
No.
sunscreen, just like, just look at me.
I'm really excited to get
I don't
my
know.
swag
That's
kit.
exciting.
I know.
I'm not on
Finally.
TikTok, so I
I
can't.
know. I know. But honestly, like Instagram does not love me because I don't ever post anything. And I'm up to like 40,000 views on Instagram, which is huge for me. But yeah. And then Facebook, where all of my people live in my community, like not many.
Yeah. I
And I'm like, yep, my people are
I
TikTok.
have made it so long without having TikTok that I'm just like on principle,
Yeah.
I kinda don't want to.
But you're
I
on Threads, right?
no,
See, I'm not on Threads either. I think anywhere that's free that you can promote your show, we have to do it.
I
Like I was
got
even
kind of tired of creating new logins for
no, I
different
know.
platforms all the time. And I
I
mean,
know.
my passwords are variations of the same thing, so I'm just gonna get
Yeah,
hacked on all of them at the same time.
right. Exactly. But like, I'm on YouTube
Yeah,
predominantly more this season because Jace has been doing shorts over there and he
okay.
said it's getting a lot of traction. So,
That's great.
am I getting a ton of like people? No, but my YouTube people are true crime people who live in
Oh.
Boston because of Karen Reed. Like I'm totally hooked on them.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
not sure people would find me.
I'm not sure how you narrowed down what your podcast was gonna be about, to be honest with you. Based on all the things I know that you love and, like, live and die by, I
Yeah.
don't know how you narrowed this down.
Well, I think I said Bravo was the obvious, like, first
Yeah.
choice and, like,
Yes.
totally could live and breathe it, but also there's so many. My
That's true.
god, there's so many, and if you are not getting the DMs from those ladies, good luck. So, it was just too saturated, and again, right now, laughing, loving, living in bright spaces where we feel safe, is my
Well,
intent.
tell me something positive you have learned about yourself through starting a podcast.
Uh, that I'm not as cringy as I think I am, although I do think I'm pretty cringe. I listen to my podcast and actually laugh at myself and not like, God, you're so dumb. But like, actually, like, that was pretty funny. I'm actually kind of funny. So just, it kind of has rejuvenated my vibe a little bit, because we can get real dark, but no thanks.
What is something you've learned about yourself that you have learned is maybe an opportunity, whether it be about podcasting or just yourself in general?
Well, that is a really good question. I'm not sure
I've
I have an
reaffirmed
answer.
I have reaffirmed for myself that I am not good at marketing. And like I shouldn't say I don't enjoy the marketing
I
aspect
was
of
gonna
it.
say because you're very good at it. You are good at
I
it.
don't have the I barely have the attention span to sit and work through a program that schedules posts.
Right.
I
Right.
get
Right.
distracted. I get like Monday post this, Tuesday post this, Wednesday, what's over here?
Right. No, for sure.
So
Or yeah. No, I
I
mean,
don't
and
love that.
that is very tough. And that's why I have a Jace because it wouldn't get done. And I can add to it, but I don't have to be like in charge of that. Now, does that seem like a cop out? Maybe, but also I want it done and I know me. I've met me. I know that it probably wouldn't get done at the scheduled time that we
Yeah.
need it to be done.
Yeah.
Discovering that I can let go of that a little bit is probably a big
Oh,
thing that I have.
I'm a control freak, so that sounds amazing that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have evolved to a point where you can, like, hands
yeah,
off a little bit.
right, right. And again, we've not met in person, Jason and I, but and I don't know if he thinks I'm a kook or what, but which is fine. But
I don't think he
sometimes,
does.
sometimes the clips are like very you know, engaging, but also like I'm like, I'm funny, Jace. Pull those things out. Make because he wants to be respectful, I'm sure. But I'm also like, if I am being a fool, do that too, because
I noticed your podcast says explicit content. Yeah, pull the good stuff, Jace.
yeah.
Pull the good stuff. I never don't have a great time with you. So,
Well, thank you.
I
I
know that you're
agree.
funny. I know that there's a gold mine of content sitting in there. And I actually, like I generally just hit record right when I start the show. But I
Right.
have a whole intake process, which I didn't do with you because you're a podcast pro. So I actually hit record before I did the intake with my husband. And I was like, I really got to start doing that
Yeah.
before I actually start the show because those things reveal stuff too sometimes.
Right.
And I feel like maybe I'm missing some of those opportunities. I'm going to
Mm,
wait to post this until I interview more guests so that they don't know that that's coming, so that
right.
they're not like proactively thinking about that. Okay.
Right.
Lastly, we talk about the before, we figured out our concepts, we talked about the during and how is this going? And now let's talk about the after.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your show? I know you said you're in season 3. Are you going to keep going? Do you feel like you have what it takes to be in it for the long haul?
Yeah. I mean, I think about how far I've come already in just a year and a couple months, how far I've come already, how much more comfortable I am. So it can only get better, as I grow. And again, if it was easy, everyone would do it. It's not
That's fair.
easy.
It's not.
Well, I'm proud of the product that I put out, even if sometimes it's not what I envisioned in my head. And so, again, if I can just help lighten up someone's hour of 1 minute of their day,
Mhm.
be that's that's my goal. So, yeah, I don't think it's going away. I would like it to grow bigger. And so that's what my struggle is right now is
Well,
that,
and I think that that just takes time and exposure
yeah,
and going on other podcasts and stuff. So again, that cross pollination and growing that garden of
and
what the
being
listeners have.
consistent. Yeah,
Yeah.
consistency is key. You have to, if they're expecting it, you have to do it. And it's like yesterday, I was supposed to have an interview. Again, not a perfect neighbor. I was in a tizzy. My head was spiraling over something, and I called her like 15 minutes before. I'm like, I'm not going to give my best to you.
Yeah. Yep.
And I really am sorry, but I need to reschedule. And she was
That's
completely
fair.
fine. But she's also like, wow, I would never assume that of you. I'm like, well, anxiety is real for
I think
everyone, whatever
and
that
that's
looks
what
like.
I struggle with that, and that's, again, part of the concept of this podcast is that I don't think a lot of people see that side of me, and they
Right.
don't realize how much actual, like, mental anguish I have because I think this is what I believe people's perception of me is: fun, lively, bubbly, like, just walk into a room, no questions, but I've stopped and, like, turned around in my tracks and left. before
Yeah.
I even walk through a door.
Right.
I just even if there's people I know inside, it's just a weird thing. And it's funny because when I was doing this, uh, I when I started all these interviews, I was like, okay, I need to have a stockpile of stuff so that way I can release a few episodes so people can binge listen. And then also I have some stuff in the tank, for the next few weeks. But I hadn't yet hit start, right? It wasn't real yet.
Mhm.
And I did the math. I lost 1 pound per person I had interviewed. And so I went to Sean and I was like, look, I don't know if this was my actual diet plan, but I'm 28 interviews away from my goal weight. I'm like, let's go.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and then unfortunately, as soon as I released it, I got like so many people were so gracious and so nice
Yeah.
and so supportive. And I like now I don't have anxiety about it anymore. So I stopped
Right.
losing weight.
Right.
Now I just have to go back to eating real portion sizes. Uh,
Boo. Boo. Life is short.
oh my goodness. Okay, well, I would like to do something really quick before we get to my last little bit that we did on your podcast, which was we segued hard to Bravo because we are both Bravo fanatics.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the deal with let's go to Summer House? Is West, did he hook up with what's her
Jen
face?
Jen Fessler.
Do we believe
Well,
this?
I I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I heard about Amanda and Kyle being on the outs as of
Uh-huh.
October last year
Uh-huh.
when BravoCon happened.
Mhm.
So that turned out to be true. West and Amanda turned out to be
He's
true.
just slimy. What
Well,
is
it's
it?
not a good look. And like, I get the attractiveness of him because he's Midwest. He's like chill, kind of cool, kind of dorky, but also like,
I
no.
just made a face where I was like, "What?" And then, like, literally my type is, like, tall, nerdy white guys. So, anyway,
He's like
he's not
I
tall,
guess
so
a
that
vibe,
helps.
but like not. No, I feel, and now I hear that him and Amanda aren't even together. So, oh, and I saw on a TikTok last night that West had a full blown relationship up until
I
February of this year.
saw that
So,
with the chick that makes the ties, right?
hmm
Uh-huh, and then Lindsay went on Watch What Happens Live with one of her ties. Did you
yep,
see that? I
yep,
loved it.
yep.
I am do you watch Hospitality, Southern Hospitality?
I do not. I watched Southern Charm, which
Oh my gosh.
Bravo Fan Fest, Charleston this
S
fall.
so oh, that sounds
We need to
fun.
sell a lot of houses so we can
I
go.
know. But Southern Hospitality is Leva's
Yes, I am familiar with
bars.
it. Yeah. Is
It
she better on
very
there? Because I don't love
She's
her
hardly
on.
on it. She's hardly on it. Because it very much reminds me of what Vanderpump used to be.
Yes, yes,
And so, it was nice and it's refreshing to go back to a cast of people you don't know. They're young, they have stupid problems,
right. Have you
and
watched the new Vanderpump season?
no,
I started watching it and I was like, no, these people are not my type. They're
no,
not
and I
my
don't
people.
watch The Valley. I'm kinda burned out of,
Oh
like,
God,
the
the
old
Valley is
Vanderpump
terrible.
cast and
Yeah.
everything, and
The Valley Persian style, amazing. The Valley OG, not amazing. And the only reason I watch it is because it's like Tuesday night it's on, and then
yeah,
Wednesday morning when I'm getting ready, I'll listen to it, but I don't
I
watch it.
love all of the Below Decks. Those are
Oh
always
yeah.
fun for me. I
Oh,
am
did you watch last night?
No, I haven't watched yet.
Okay,
No, no.
I
What
won't
was I
tell you.
doing last night? Oh, yesterday I did, an
Oh yes,
alcohol study
yes,
for the Driving Safety Research Institute.
right.
I was like, "What was I doing?" Well, I couldn't remember because I was not legally.
Impaired.
I was over the legal limit in the name of science. I actually had 22 breathalyzer tests done yesterday.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
that is a future episode. It's coming. I did get the approval from the
Oh
research
good.
staff to
Oh
talk about
good.
that. So that will be a fun and exciting time. But no, I did not
Yeah.
watch that last night. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot and I'm gonna force you to choose your top 3 favorite people from the Bravo universe.
I mean, it's not even on the spot for me. Sonia Rita, number 1 from
Okay.
Roni. I love her so much. Well, now I am on the spot. Okay. Countess, even though she's not favorite, she just, like an anchor, right?
Mhm,
She is
mhm, mhm.
a staple in the community, and I did see her perform last year, and it was actually not as cringy as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
So Countess Luann, and I call her Countess because that's what Sonia would say. And then third, gosh, there's so many people that used to have the third spot. Bethany did at one time. No
Oh, yeah.
bueno
No.
anymore. Kyle, sorry, you're a snooze.
Eh.
Ooh, maybe Rachel Zoe, or I
Okay.
love me some Tilly, and she's not on it enough.
I do
Jennifer
love
Tilly
Jennifer
is
Tilly.
that dress that she had on for the reunion. I want one of those. I with her face or my face on it. I don't care.
I would have to say for me, my number 1 is Heather Dubrow. It's always gonna be rich bitch.
Ate
Belle
the
in her
bell off
closet,
the cake.
champs. Oh my gosh. I think the reason I like her is because, right, she just actually has the money that people talk about,
Oh yeah,
and, like, good for you. And she's
yeah,
educated. She's just well educated. I love that.
yeah,
Okay, so Heather Dubrow. I'm having a hard time with this one because I really only wanna pull one person from below deck, and
yeah.
I really like Aisha, but Daisy,
I
they're tied for me. I love both of them so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
And then my 3rd would probably be I
yeah.
might have to go with Stassi. I miss Stassi a lot.
Well, she's gonna be on Hulu. She's
Yeah,
gonna have her own show.
she just had such great quips. I just
She is very
loved her.
quick with the quips. I
Yes.
did just watch Vanderpump Villa just because I wanted to see
Oh,
how
yeah.
the Mormon talk dads did.
Mm. Mhm.
But that's another, like,
That's a
come
hot
on,
mess.
right? Do we need any more at least Vanderpump shows? And we're getting like 2 more.
Oh,
So
gross.
I know
Well,
it's over.
with that, let's move into our last segment that I like, again, gonna put you on the spot here. This segment is called Commit or Cancel. Now, it is related to podcasts and not so much to Bravo, but it's
Hmm.
a quick, rapid fire little game. I'm gonna read a statement, and the only thing you have to decide is are you committing to the statement or canceling it?
Okay.
You ready?
Hmm.
Okay. Commit or cancel to recording late at night because inspiration suddenly appears.
Cancel. I am not doing that. I would
You're so
rather do a
funny.
7 a.m. one.
Oh
Thanks.
my gosh. Okay, commit or cancel to re-recording intros 14 times.
Cancel. If like,
This
let
is what
it
you get.
be.
Take it. Commit or cancel technology problems moments before recording.
I mean, I've had it. I feel like you experienced it with me at one point.
I
So,
did,
I
yes.
mean, we are just going to commit and figure it out.
How about commit or cancel to imposter syndrome?
Oh my God. You have no idea how relevant that is right now. I mean, it's alive and well in my blood. So I will commit to canceling it. I would like it to be canceled.
I would like it to be canceled as well, but I also that lives within me.
Yeah.
How about posting content while internally spiraling?
Again, just happened. So you have to do it. But again, ChatGPT can be your friend and say, "Man, why don't we take a deep breath?" Or yeah, do something else and then do that.
I should program my ChatGPT to be like calming life coach.
Yeah,
Um how about people saying I could totally start a podcast?
do it.
Do it. 100%. I
Commit.
agree. Commit.
Commit. We we it's it's open to everyone. Everyone is
Mhm.
welcome. Good, bad, or indifferent.
How about overthinking the analytics?
Oh no. I cancel. I Do you think I know? I
I
would like
love
to
this.
know, but then I'm also like, "Nah, I'm good."
This is why you will succeed is because you don't give a shit about it. So,
I
like,
I
you're
I
not
absolutely give a
overthinking.
lot of shit when I see no one is viewing them. I'm like, "God damn it," but I don't want to. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't want that to rule you. Okay,
right.
and last one I've got for you. Commit or cancel to building something before you know if it'll succeed.
Commit.
Do it.
Yeah,
Life's too short.
absolutely, and it's so cliche, but literally everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. No one is different in that. You may think someone is more special because they're out there doing the damn thing, but guess what? You are allowed to do the damn thing too. So go do it.
I 100% agree with that statement. You are absolutely allowed to go do everything. And this
Yep.
is a space where everyone is welcome. So claim your show and
Yeah.
go do it. So, Ian,
I'm
thank
sorry I
you.
didn't have much of the technical side, but again,
No,
maybe I
that's
should have had
okay.
Jace
No,
come
but
on with
I
me.
think that that's what's great about this conversation is you and I had the same thought. We'd like to do this, and there's different routes to get to the end result, and you just
Mhm.
do what works for you. So,
That's
and
right.
it might be a trial and error situation. You might not
Yeah.
realize, you might find out you love editing. Well, then do that yourself.
Right.
That sort of a thing.
That's
But
why
so
I
I don't,
like Jace to do the editing because if I did it, it would take me 10,000 times longer and he can just clip it out and
that's
I don't
fair.
even know what's going up. So I'm like, please, baby Jesus, let it be okay. But I
That's
mean,
totally fair.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I again thank you so much for
yeah.
being with me today. I am going to wrap this
Um,
one up with this is how we do it for our listeners. So it's just going to be a quick. I keep saying so, and I keep hearing it, and
I'm not
I
even hearing, so I promise.
well, I'm hyper aware of it from all of the
Yeah,
editing that I've been doing. But we are going to go back into this is how we do it. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking, I have an idea, but I don't know if I'm talented enough, or what if people judge me? What if I fail
right.
publicly?
Hmm.
Welcome to creating things. Because starting something creative is vulnerable. You're literally taking an idea that only existed safely inside your brain and putting it where other people can see it. And it's absolutely terrifying. So, step one, stop waiting for confidence first. Confidence is not a prerequisite. Most people do not feel ready when they launch something new or creative. They feel nervous, awkward, underqualified, and sometimes, like me, mildly nauseous. You build confidence by doing it, not before. Step two, make the first version exist. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be award winning. It just has to be real. Perfectionism convinces people if I can't do it flawlessly, I shouldn't start. And honestly, that mindset is going to kill more ideas than failure ever will.
Hmm.
Step three, expect it to feel uncomfortable at first. Hearing your own voice is awkward. Posting your work is awkward. Sharing your ideas is awkward. That does not mean you're bad at it. It just means you're new at it. There's a difference. And lastly, step four, keep creating before you decide whether you're good at it. This is the biggest one. People will quit way too early. They make one post, one episode, one video, one attempt, and immediately decide, well, I guess I'm not very talented. I shouldn't be doing this. Meanwhile, every other creator you admire once made terrible first drafts too. So just keep going long enough to improve. Your job is not to be instantly amazing. Your job is to be brave enough to begin. New experiences don't have to be so scary. Let's make them feel doable. Awkward is fine. We're doing it anyway. I will see you next time. There are a lot more firsts, a lot more chaos, and unfortunately, a lot more opinions coming. So hit follow.